'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smiled with the rising sun. Three little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, a melody pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smiled with the rising sun. Three little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, a melody pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Announcement lady is here to say, every little thing is gonna be okay. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Toronto. Santa Claus is coming to town today. Yay! Yeah, it's a Santa Claus parade today. So thank you for joining us here instead of standing on a cold street corner with your children. We did that for many years. It was lovely. Kind of missed it. My name is Tanis, and welcome. I have a few announcements for you, but they are all probably in your lap. The pertinent things you need to know. There's just a couple of things that I want to point out. This Monday, the women's group is meeting again here from 7 to 9 p.m. So come on down and join that group. Something that's not on here that I want to mention that Jonathan talked about last week. He's part of a men's choir called Forte, and they are doing a Christmas concert Saturday, December 13th. Doors open at 7 o'clock. Concert goes at 7:30. It's called All is Calm. I keep wanting to say All is Quiet. All is Calm. It's about Christmas Eve, December 1914, during World War I. So pack your tissues, because you'll probably need them. We went and saw Forte perform this summer, and it was spectacular and magical. Wept through that, so can't imagine what this one's going to be like. Tickets are available ahead of schedule. You can buy them in our gift shop for $25. They're $30 at the door. If you buy them in advance from the gift shop, $5 comes back to the center. So win-win situation. But I highly recommend going to that concert. It'll be truly, truly remarkable. And that's all I have to say. Except, let's put our hands together for Reverend Jonathan Zenz!
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone this morning? Wonderful. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Jonathan Zenz, and I am the spiritual director here. I feel like there was something more I wanted to say. Oh, I know. In this concert, so, you know, this Forte concert, which is, it's going to be spectacular, but if you've ever wanted to hear me sing a solo, specifically singing Silent Night in German, you get to have that experience by coming to this concert. So I encourage you all to show up and hear me sing in German. It's going to be a great, great, great show. We also have a great, great, great show that's going to be happening the week prior to that here at the center, which is our annual fundraising gala. And I want to remind everybody about that and make sure that you get your tickets to that. It is a fundraiser. We are selling tickets at $40 a piece, and it will be on Thursday, the 4th of December, and Friday, the 5th of December. We're splitting it up into 2 nights. There are going to be great silent auction items at each night. Not just on one night and not just on the other. At each night, there are going to be great silent auction items, and we're going to have just a great big old party. This show that we're putting together is very funny. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to give anything away. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, we are here on a Sunday morning, every Sunday morning, to celebrate an idea, and that idea is that there is a power for good in the universe, and we get to use it. This is how Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind and the religious science philosophy, started his radio program every single week. There is a power for good in this universe, and you can use it. We are using it. Whether we are consciously, knowingly aware of it or not, we are utilizing this power, and it is what is creating the expression of our lives. So, what we come here on a Sunday to do is to learn how to incorporate that power more perfectly in our lives. More, what's the word I'm looking for? More holy in both aspects of the word. More specifically, we get to utilize this in a very specific way. We get to practically, that's the word I'm looking for. We get to practically apply this idea into our lives, and that's what we're here to celebrate. We're going to launch it off. So, we're going to launch it off with One Big Family. It's on your song sheet if you want to follow along. Feel free to stand up. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. Everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Stephen! Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. All right, you can be seated. So that's the way we kick off our celebration today, and continuing on in this idea of celebration, I'm going to invite to the lectern one of our licensed practitioners here at the center with a reminder that practitioners are people that you can go to if you're having some issue in your life. You know, does anyone here not have issues in their life?
Never.
Never. I never have an issue ever in my life. I've never in my life had to go see a practitioner or someone to assist me through knowing the truth. Ever. That's why I'm the minister. So there. All right, no. No. We are here to assist you if you're having some issue in your life. I know, it's like the longest introduction ever. If there is something in your life that you're having trouble knowing the truth about, you can speak with a practitioner. And I'm going to invite all the practitioner and practitioner interns who are in the room to please stand so you can be recognized. And they are also available to you after service if you would like to speak with them and have a 1-minute miracle, we call them. So thank you so much. Our practitioner of the day is also the president of our board of trustees, and is and she is lovely and telling me all about the great things that she is now learning in ministerial school, which is exciting. And I feel like I'm on the journey again through ministerial school by going through it with your feedback, and you're studying with James Mellon, who is my mentor. So that's always that's fun for me. Anyway, please welcome, with her own wonderful brand of wisdom and inspiration, Helen Vello.
Thank you. Good morning. Okay, well that doesn't fit there. I'll move it over. Yes, I am learning a lot from James, including a new way of writing out my talks that I have to submit to him. I totally blew the first one. Totally blew it. So here we go. So Einstein says that insanity is expecting a different result, but we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I think that, well, I'll speak for myself. I have all kinds of beliefs and patterns that show up, and I often can sometimes find myself getting caught out here. Like if everybody else would change out there, I'd be just fine. Just fine. Yeah. Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. Ernest Holmes says, we all have the spiritual power to raise the dead, but we do not believe we have. Our mind does not unqualifiedly accept this. Therefore, that which we are through disbelief projects the form of have not rather than the form of have. So, everything that I'm experiencing in my life, I have a perception around, I have a belief around, and I either respond from love or react out of fear. And it demonstrates, everything demonstrates out here, exactly according to what I believe. So, let me ask you this. Do you believe that you have choice in what you perceive, believe, and experience in every circumstance? Do you have choice in how you either respond to it or react out of fear? And do you choose to believe in the divine principle? Now, I got caught the other day because in my ministerial class, I had to, someone else had to explain the divine principle and what was the scientific law in the divine principle. And I knew the scientific law, but I had forgotten what the divine principle was. And the divine principle is that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe, governed by, and this is the scientific principle, the law of cause and effect. And can we remember that? Can we remember that we're spiritual beings in this spiritual universe, and that God is present in each and every moment, and it is to the degree that we believe in that we experience it, and that it is expressing through us. Because once we do that, we can release the insanity, we can release the chaos, we can let go of the drama, and we can step into enjoying our lives and living with love and peace and joy and abundance. But it's only once we come back to knowing the absolute truth in each and every moment. And that's where the rubber hits the road, because it is that perpetual motion of coming back to remembering that truth That's where our spiritual practices come into place. That's where living our spirituality comes into play. And so, I have an affirmation for you. I'll say it, then you'll say it with me. And the affirmation is, I am the absolute. This is my consciousness. My life is mine to rise up. So, I'll say it one more time because I know I tend to create very long affirmations. And I know that I will get called out on that at some point too. I'll tell you, my minister.
Break it down.
Yeah.
Into
I
3
will.
parts. There you go.
Okay, thank you. See, I can't get away with anything here or in James's class. 1 week it's great, the next week I'm like on the floor. Okay, so I am the absolute.
I am the absolute.
This is my consciousness.
This is my consciousness.
My life is mine to rise up.
My life is mine to rise up.
There you go.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Helen.
You're welcome.
I am the absolute. This is my consciousness. My life is mine to rise up. That is the truth for each and every one of us. I also want to comment on the divine principle. We are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by our use of the law of cause and effect. I recognize something in the way we claim that. By saying we are governed by the law of cause and effect, it may seem like we are governed by the effects. The truth is, we are governed by cause, and we create cause. So every effect that shows up in our life is subject to our idea. So let's take that, embody that, and claim it. I remember who I am. I remember who you are, and who we are is pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are, and who we are is pure spirit. We are light, we are life, we are love. We are peace, we are joy, we are wisdom. And beautiful harmony, we are pure spirit. And so in this moment, I invite Helen to lead us through affirmative prayer.
And knowing that, yes, we are pure spirit, I know and understand right here, right now, that each one of us is this divine expression of the absolute that is everywhere present. For there is only God, there is only good, there is only life in each and every moment that is absolutely perfect, for it is God expressing. It is God at play. It is God enjoying all that is to be enjoyed in this life and within this community. And so, right here, right now, I affirm and I declare that each and every one of us is this divine expression, that is God expressing, that is God playing and enjoying life, feeling this incredible energy of love, of life, of light, of power, of peace, of beauty and joy. I breathe it in, I embody it, and I say yes to it, knowing that I am a powerful cause in my life. And for this knowing, this embodiment of God, I am incredibly grateful. I am grateful for this community. I'm grateful for these teachings, and I am grateful for each and every person here today. I release my word right here, right now, and I declare it as done, for it is released into the law. I let go, and I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is.
Take a breath. Go to that place of remembering. I remember who I am. I remember who you are, and who we are is pure spirit, and who we are is pure spirit. Thank you, Helen. Oh, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. I want to welcome anyone who's joining us here for the first time today. I failed to do that earlier, and let you know that you are in for a treat, because I think we have one of the best music teams of any Center for Spiritual Living in the whole of Canada. That's what I've decided.
Aw, thanks.
And here today to do a wonderful song, a song I absolutely love, a song by the Proclaimers originally. Please welcome Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band. Doesn't matter.
I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. Yeah, I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. I'm on my way to what I want from this world. And years from now, I'll make it to the next world. And on my way, I'm divinely guided. So I let go, my fears have all subsided. I took a right turn in yesterday. Yeah, I took a right turn in yesterday. Yeah. I took the road that brought me to your hometown. I took the bus to streets that I could walk down. I walked the streets to find the one I looked for. I climbed the stairs that brought me to your front door. And now that I don't want for anything, I'll have El Jolson sing. I'm sitting on top of the world. I'll do my best to do the best I can. Yeah, I'll do my best to do the best I can. Yeah. To keep my feet from jumping from the ground, dear. To keep my heart from jumping through my mouth, dear. To leave the past, the powers in the present. To try and learn when life offers a lesson. And now that I don't want for anything, I'll have Al Jolson sing. I'm sitting on top of the world. I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. Yeah, I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. Yeah. I'm on my way to what I want from this world. And years from now, I'll make it to the next world. And on my way, I'm divinely guided. So I let go, my fears are all subsided. I'm on my way to what I want from this world. And years from now, I'll make it to the next world. And on my way, I'm divinely guided. So I let go, my fears have all subsided. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
That was awesome. Do we not have the best music team in all of Canada? give that back to you. I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. Do you have the lyrics for that? There's a lyric that caught me, as it sometimes does, that I didn't prepare for. Of course, now I have to find it. When I turn to the rose from the best can, my feet from misery to happiness. What song was I singing? Silent Night in German. That's very funny. La 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 la. Don't want for do my best, do the best I can. Keep my feet from jump and leave the past, the powers in the present. Here it is. To try and learn when life offers a lesson. To try and learn when life offers a lesson. The only reason that this caught me is because this has been kind of a thing that's been going, you'll probably know why. This has been a thing that's been jumping to the fore of my conscious awareness for the past week, and it's come up in Mental Muscle Extreme, which I'm teaching right now. Do you feel that the universe is providing lessons for you to learn from? That's something to check in. Oh, that's not yours. Yes. So this is now not a rhetorical question. How many people here feel that the universe is providing lessons for them to learn? All right. I'm now going to invite you to let that notion go. Let that notion go, and here's why. The universe has no personality. It is not coming up and saying, "Oh, Helen, you must learn this lesson." It does not do that. So the very concept that the universe is providing lessons for us to learn is an erroneous concept. If there is a lesson to be learned, we have created the circumstances for that lesson to be learned. It is entirely an inside job. That's what I'm here to teach. So the universe cannot provide anything to you that you have not already consciously taken on in mind, knowingly or unknowingly. So if there is a lesson to be learned, learn from it, absolutely, but also recognize that you created the lesson in the first place. Every lesson I have ever needed to learn in my life, I now recognize was a lesson I created in the first place. And I have to tell you, it has freed me up in my life with the recognition that I no longer need the ill effects of lessons that create evil in my life. Because that's what I experienced for a while. I talk sometimes about this relationship that I was in once upon a time, now almost 20 years ago. Wow, 20 years ago. Does this happen more and more? 20 years ago. It's only years. No. So one of the things cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. So we were talking this morning in the rehearsal. For whatever reason, the show Family Ties came up, and we were talking about when that show first aired. And he says, "Oh, it's about 30 years ago." And everybody's going, "Can't possibly be 30 years ago." And then I looked it up, and it was 32 years ago that show premiered. 32 years ago. Anyway, that's all relative. It's all time. And it's really gotten me off track for a moment. There is no lesson. There are no lessons except the lessons we create for ourselves. This actually goes very well in line with what I am talking about today. Today is the second in a 4-week series that is based on the Introduction to the Science of Mind. The Introduction to the Science of Mind is the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. Those are the 4 sections of the Introduction to the Science of Mind. So today we're talking about the way it works. The way it works. Ernest Holmes in that, right at the very end, says, "Let us begin to accept today more good than we experienced yesterday." Let us begin to accept today more good than we experienced yesterday. Why I like this and why I do believe it goes right in line with the idea that there are no lessons to be learned except the ones we create for ourselves is that clearly indicates that we are in charge. If we have learned the lesson, we can now accept today more good than we experienced yesterday. Because in that relationship that I was referencing, that was not a good relationship. That was horrible, horrible experience in my life. I learned the lesson, and now I experience greatness in my relationship. And not just a loving romantic relationship, I experience greatness in every relationship I have because that is my decision. I came to that decision with the recognition that I created a lesson to learn from the experience of a bad relationship because that at that time is what I was equal to in my mind. Because I believed, and there's the key, I believed that I had to learn a lesson. Knowingly or unknowingly, I believed it, I experienced it. That's the way it works. So let us begin to accept today more good than we experienced yesterday. In your life, do you feel as though anything has ever been withheld from you? Do you believe that in some way your good has been withheld from you? This is a rhetorical. We're back to rhetorical. This is a moment of reflection. Do you feel that your good has ever been withheld from you? Do you perceive on any level that you live in limitation? And what is the defining factor of that limitation? Is there evil? Is there heartache? Is there sorrow? How much of that in your life do you perceive? And I'm not talking about do you live. Do you perceive it? Do you see it in the world? How much evil, heartache, and sorrow do you see in the world? And at what point do you step back and say, I am not subject to any of it in my own experience of life? How much of it have you taken on in your life, and how much of it are you experiencing? Again, rhetorical, moment of reflection. Whatever you've taken on, you now own. Oh, that's so depressing, isn't it? The great thing about owning something is that you can sell it. You can get rid of it. You don't have to own it forever. I wrote here, wow, usually we come here to feel good and hear an inspiring message. And now we're hearing about sorrow and heartache and limitation and blah. I thought science of mind was about being above all of that. And it is. It is because you can disown it. The truth is, we are on our way. Because we've made a decision, each and every one of us, to actively show up in life. We have made a decision to actively show up in life. You know what I'm getting a little more like movement-oriented, I think, because of the show. We have made a decision to actively show up in life. What did that spark for me? The fact that you are here means that on some level you have made a decision to actively show up in your life. Because one of the things that happens sometimes, I've experienced this, and I've called people on it when I've witnessed it, not in a way that is unbecoming of a minister. A lot of times people come here because they feel good, and they want to share that in community. And there are people who, when they don't feel so good, they stop showing up. Because they are in that place of fear that, wow, everybody there is always so positive and happy, and, well, if I'm not feeling that, I don't think I should be around that because I don't want to drag anybody down. The truth is, come here when you're feeling that way to be lifted up. That's the whole point of community. That is the whole point of the science of mind. That we teach an idea here that we can rise above any experience in the world of condition that may feel like it's dragging us down. And as it's dragging us down in mind, we are living the experience and recreating the experience and recreating the experience. The way to stop it is to take action. So this is what I mean when I say we are actively showing up for our life. We can step into something new. That is available to us all the time, 100% of the time. And it does not mean that you have to go through the lesson to learn what you need to know. It means that right now, right in this moment, instantaneously make a decision that is so embodied that the law must provide, because that's what the law does. The law always provides. It always says yes, in exact accordance with your belief and feelings. Ah, and there's the catch. Ernest Holmes writes this: "The time must come when we shall have left the apparent evil behind, when it shall be rolled up like a scroll and numbered with the things which were once thought to be." That is one of my favorite quotes in the entire book. I love the idea that we get to roll up evil and be done with it. It's like, oh, we're so far beyond that as a community, as a world, as an experience of life. We are so far beyond the expression of evil because that does not serve anyone. The time is now, right now. Are you ready to roll up that apparent evil like a scroll and put it away and be done with it? And if your mind goes to, yes, but I see what's happening in other parts of the world, and how do I address that? And it seems so big and weighty on my shoulders. You are not Atlas. You do not carry the weight of the world on your... It was Atlas, right? Yeah. You are not carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are only in charge of your experience and your life. And the great news is, as we address the issues of less than in our own lives and recognize that we can rise above them, we create the point at which all of life is experiencing that because we have shown up in that way in our own lives. We are not required to change the world. Not a single one of us is required to change the world. But when we live this principle, we automatically change the world by the way we show up in it. To do this, we must become the embodiment. We must become the embodiment of love and peace. That's the way it works. And I am back to my equations. This is how it works. T plus B times F equals L. Any guesses? Thought plus belief times feeling equals life. Thought plus belief times feeling equals life. Your entire life, your entire life's expression, everything that is showing up in your experience is the result of thought plus belief times feeling. And this is the new thing that I'm introducing. Before I was like, yes, you have your conscious idea, and there's that factor in there that is your belief, and that's the way your life is going to show up. Yes, it is your belief. Your thought plus your belief multiplied by your feeling. That's how your life shows up. Because we can have thought plus belief that is not very well grounded in feeling, and it's only going to show up at the level of that. This is what I talk about when I'm saying an embodiment of this idea. This is going to that place of feeling. By embodying the feeling of expansive greatness. I mean, just feel the energy of that word, of those words. Embodying the feeling of expansive greatness brings this to the experience of each and every one of us. What is the level of your feeling? The expression of life is absolutely guaranteed. Absolutely. And it is only held back by the feeling. It might actually be more accurate to do this. Let's replace the L, life, with a Q. Ready for this? Thought plus belief times feeling equals quality. The quality of your life shows up according to that equation. So, regardless of the quality, this is the way it works. This is the way it works. This is the law of cause and effect. That is the thing that Helen was talking about. We are divine. We are. We are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe. Does anyone here deny that? We are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe. And I am done hearing people say, I'm a human being having a spiritual, or I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. No, you're having a spiritual experience because there is no separation between the human and the divine. So to the degree that you have decided that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, you are now having a human experience. And that is what is welcoming all of the ill effects of your life to come in, because we believe the human experience to be less than and something from which we must learn lessons. We are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. That's the truth. Life is the result of thought, belief, and feeling. And this is what creates the quality of our life. Ernest Holmes writes this: we experience good and evil because we perceive a presence of duality rather than unity. That is the spiritual being human experience. We have separated ourselves from the spiritual experience. We think that it is something different. And so we experience good and evil. The minute we claim and embody from a feeling place that we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience, everything begins to flow easily and effortlessly. One of the fundamental things I teach in class is we teach a 5-step process for prayer: recognition, unification, declaration, gratitude, release. If you listen to the prayers that are offered here on a Sunday, I'm pretty clear that I want to make sure that all those points get hit, so that, especially if you're learning, if you're a practitioner student and you're learning, it is a formula. It is formulaic, but it is a formula because we believe it works. And yet, what I get to in class is I say, if you got steps 1 and 2, recognition and unification, you wouldn't need any of the others. That is recognition, God is all there is. This divine power, this divine creative resource of love is all there is. There is nothing else. That's it. God. God, the creative principle. That's step 1. Step 2 is unification. That simply is a statement of, if God is all there is, that must be who I am. That is who I am. And when I truly embody that understanding that there is absolutely no separation, we are immersed in God, we are expressing as God, every cell of our being is created from God's stuff. There is no separation, none. That is who and what I am. And when I truly get that, when I truly embody that, everything else in life takes care of itself. Because the whole purpose of life is to live it. That's the only purpose. That's the big secret. What is the secret to life? Live it. Live it unabashedly. So I've been watching, I actually only watched one service. I usually watch James Mellon's service every week. I've only watched one this month. They are doing a great thing, and it's actually inspiring me to something not dissimilar, and an idea that I've had from the day I walked into this center, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. They are living out loud this month. That is their theme, living out loud. And so James is encouraging people to wear bright, expansive colors to service and really make a statement, make a bold statement in life. Make a bold statement in life. We are the ones who are in charge of the statement of our lives. Now, the reason that I'm thinking about this, and this has been on my mind for a very long time, is because when I first got here as a minister, about 2 weeks into my third talk in 2012, January of 2012, I was approached by somebody following service, and this person came up and they said, "So I just have to ask you a question. Are you going to always wear jeans?" Okay. And I said, "Most likely, because that's who I am. I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. And it is not that I have disrespect for the ministry, but this is how I show up. This is what I'm comfortable in. If I were to wear a suit every week, and sometimes I do wear a suit, I will admit that. If I were to wear a suit every week, the truth is I would feel like I was being fake, like I was stepping into some idea of what a minister should be, rather than living my life out loud in front of every single person here." So what this brings to mind, and I may do this at the beginning of the year, get ready, is I may do a Sunday called Come As You Are. You have to wear clothes. I will be abundantly clear, that is the caveat, you must wear clothing. For those of you who are online, Tony asked the question, whose?
Thought he said who.
That's up to you. But we should all step into our boldness, every single one of us, freely and with abandon. Just try it. Don't allow the world to tell you no. You're the one that gets to say no to yourself. That's it. Where the heck was I? Oh, so this is the whole point. I do go on a lot of tangents, and I very typically keep it coming back to my notes. And today I have really diverged. I'm going to go back to this quote. We experience good and evil because we perceive a presence of duality rather than unity. So that led to, there are two things, recognition, unification. If we really get those, so I'm tracing it, right? Ultimately, this comes down to feeling. So in the idea of come as you are, in the idea of living out loud, what is the feeling that you bring to the expression of your life? Live that out loud. Live that out loud. Feeling is perception. Feeling is perception. Feeling is colored by belief. That's the other thing in this equation. Feeling is colored by belief. And feeling affects belief. And belief affects feeling. It's a two-way street. So as we embody this principle, as we embody this idea that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by the law of cause and effect, as we embody this more deeply in every moment, we find the balance between feeling and belief and how it's showing up in our lives. And we get to impress upon that feeling place only the good. We get to impress upon that belief place only the good. And those things are what are creating the thoughts which we express in form. Another thing that I teach in class, and I believe that all the practitioner students will attest to this, is the effectiveness of any prayer. What makes a prayer effective is one thing: feeling. It all comes down to feeling. If you don't feel it, it ain't going to happen. Whatever you are claiming in your declaration statement in prayer is not going to happen unless you come down to that place of feeling, so that you are so immersed and embodied in the feeling of being the divine right in that moment that there is absolutely nothing that can knock you off that course. That is the thing that shifts. Coming to that place of faith. If you cannot be thrown off course by anything, then you have embodied a belief. That is the very definition of belief. That which you believe so to be true that you cannot be swayed from that idea until you are. Because the truth is, your beliefs can shift. Your beliefs can shift. If you believe in lack, boy, howdy, I hope you can shift that belief. Because if you believe in lack, that becomes your experience. The idea is not to disbelieve lack. The idea is to believe in abundance. And far too many of us approach this philosophy from that idea, that we must disbelieve something. We must, I've got to stop thinking about lack. I've got to stop thinking about lack. I've got to stop thinking about lack. And lack, it's right there. I've got to stop thinking about it. It's never going to happen until you embody the idea that you are the inheritance of the universe flowing through you abundantly. The belief shifts the erroneous belief. The new belief shifts the erroneous belief. Trying to deny the erroneous belief will only reaffirm the erroneous belief. There is now, as I sit to see, it's a perfect lineup. Ernest Holmes wrote this: there is no mental coercion in this. So the idea of I must disbelieve, you're getting involved in coercing the law. I must stop, I must. He writes this: how much can one demonstrate? Demonstrate, that's a good one. How much can one demonstrate? Just what one can believe. That is no longer repudiated by our own denials. When you have stepped into belief, you have eliminated denial from that belief, and then you have the experience. Any denial, however, speaks to the belief. If you are recognizing denial in your life, Take a listen to that inner voice behind the denial, because that is the actual belief at play. So if you are affirming in this moment, I am the pure expression of abundance in everything I think, say, and do, and there is that denial in the back of your head saying, no, you're not, you idiot. Have you looked at your checking account lately? That denial is the belief. That denial is the belief. And so we reaffirm, I am the infinite expression of abundance in all my life. I am the infinite expression of abundance in all my life. We reaffirm and reaffirm and reaffirm, and we keep prayerful until we feel it. Until we feel it. And this is what Ernest Holmes means when he says, treat until you demonstrate. Pray until you demonstrate. Pray until you have proven it in your life. And that's the science of mind. We prove these principles by engaging in them. That's the great news. The great news is our conscious mind can address anything that shows up. It can address anything that shows up. Anything that knowingly shows up and anything that unknowingly shows up. All of it, knowingly and unknowingly, is impressing upon the law of cause and effect an idea. That's how our expression happens. Our conscious mind can address anything that shows up, anything in our subconscious, because the subconscious is subjective. The subconscious is subjective. It takes upon whatever is impressed into it and shows up accordingly. It has no will of its own. It simply does. It simply says yes. The subconscious is subjective to the objective, and the objective is our conscious use of mind. This is also what we mean when we say trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. All thought backed by belief, immersed in feeling, creates. It's also the good news, because if you have a fleeting thought that is not backed by a belief, for instance, if you live a life of abundance and you have a fleeting thought of lack just in a moment, if it is not upheld by belief and feeling, it will not show up in your life. So it does work the other way as well. The subconscious is subjective to the objective being our conscious mind. The more we engage in the practice, and it is a practice, the more we engage in the practice, the more it shows up in our experience. We are the objective and active users of this law. We actively use it. And I will encourage each and every one of us to use it more actively, more of the time. And the life we live is the universal life expressing through us. The life we live is the universal life expressing through us. Again, that's Ernest Holmes. As we impose a new idea on the universal, it says, okay, you got it. And we're on our way from misery to happiness. We're on our way. So what keeps us slipping back? Check in on that for a moment. What keeps us slipping back into those places where we are denying our good? I think one of the ideas is that we become blinded by the stuff in our world. And we are taught to do this. We are taught to be blinded by the stuff because we are taught that success is measured by the stuff. I'm not talking just about money or possessions, but the stuff of experience in all ways. We are taught that success is the result of the stuff. Whereas when we come to an embodiment that success is who and what we are naturally, the stuff, whatever that needs to be for our highest good, shows up in our experience. But we become blinded by the stuff in our world, and then we have a tendency to believe it. We have a tendency to believe that because my checking account has always been sitting at a very low level, I can never break beyond that because that is my lot in life. And there we are, back to the infinite lesson of the universe. I am meant to live in lack for some reason because there's a lesson I must learn from it. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I love it. It's like, cancel, I don't want to think that, right? But we don't cancel it by saying, I don't want to think that, right? We cancel it by saying, you know what? Pish posh. Pish posh. No, I won't tell you what actually went through my brain because I have my mind sometimes is like talks to me like a sailor. When I say pish posh, I mean something very different. And that actually goes to feeling. I will tell you, do I dare do this? Sometimes the F word can be very effective. That's all I'm saying. In getting to a place of feeling. It can be very effective. Well, wait, what? Fabulous! Yeah, what did you think I was talking about? I'm talking about the word fabulous. I mean, I think we all have a feeling around the other F word, right? The four-letter F word, that one. It elicits a feeling. And fear is 4 letters. You guys are going to keep throwing these at me. You're going to keep throwing me off my talk, and we're going to be here for days. Ernest Holmes writes this, and this is referencing, we become blinded by the stuff in our world, and we tend to believe it. Ernest Holmes wrote, when we see it as it is, we shall see ourselves as we are. When we begin to see the stuff in our world as simply the result of our thinking, our belief, and our feeling, we begin to truly embody who we are. And all of that stuff changes. That which is no longer required in our belief system to be there for our highest and best good, because we can think that our highest and best good is through some lesson we need to learn. When we divest ourselves of that notion, the lessons stop showing up in that way. And we begin to live fruitful, glorious, joyful experiences because we are living the truth of who we are. The truth of the divine is love, light, life, peace, power, beauty, joy, harmony, wisdom. That's the truth of life. We're the only ones who get in the way of that. When we see it as it is, then we shall see ourselves as we are. If we hold up the mirror and we see in that mirror, staring back at us, only the face of this divine principle, we begin to live its life. When we begin to really understand who we are, we begin to live love, light, life, peace, power, joy, beauty, harmony, wisdom. The world, all of it, all of the world. What you and I, you, me, the building, are the world, the universe. The universe. The sun, the sky, the stars, the novas, everything. All of it is one thing. All of it is it. All of it is God. Where's my happy face? Remember I used to do this? Go ahead. So I used to talk about the wall, right? Being God. And I still go once in a while. And they put up this little happy face to remind me that the wall is God. This is my face of God for the wall. Winking at me, saying hello, wishing I would stop slapping it. It'll stick for a moment because I decided it will stay there for as long as it needs to stay there for the good of this experience. Everything that we experience, the entire universe is the outcome of creation. It is the result of creation. And we are here to teach that we must look at the source of creation to recreate our lives. Seeing it as it is, the flow of love, we truly see ourselves as we are, that same flow of love. The result is we free ourselves of suffering. This is what I have come to understand as being the truth of creation. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. This is one of those go-to quotes in the book, right? This is one that pretty much every minister, most practitioners have committed to memory. Ignorance of the law excuses no one from its effects. And we must look at what it is followed up by in the book, because as I came across it again today, I thought, wow, we should really be reading this. Right after that, it says, if, then, certain specific ways of thoughts and belief have produced limitations, other beliefs will change them. And that is the foundation for why we must develop a spiritual practice. Because it is in spiritual practice that we shift the belief, we shift the feeling. So the true journey from misery to happiness is a shift of thought, plus a change of belief, multiplied by feeling. And this is the way it works. This is the way it works. This is the way we work. This is the way we work. And so I end today with a quote of Ernest Holmes. Let us realize and work this. I think I misquoted this because I have this written twice. Sorry, now I have to go to the book, because I'm afraid that I may have typed it out incorrectly. The thing itself. I feel terrible now, but that's not going to stop me. The wall is happy. All right, let us realize. I mean, I could sit here and, you want me to read the entire chapter to you? Let us realize and work this sound knowledge and perfect faith. That as high as we shall make our mark in mind and spirit, so high shall be its outward manifestation in our material world. As high as we shall make our mark in mind and spirit, so high shall it be its outward manifestation in our material world. That's easy for me to say. The more we embody this idea, the more we rise above our concept that the conditions have any effect in our lives. The more we rise above it, the more we step into our power rather than retreat from it, the more we move from misery to happiness. This is being on our way. So let us be on our way. Namaste. I'm going to invite Helen Vallot to the lectern to speak with you for a few moments.
So, Jonathan mentioned something about God being the resource of all things. And I thought, that is so brilliant, because in this time of giving back, it's understanding that we are unlimited in our own resources. We are unlimited in our own resources because we are God, and God is unlimited in resources. And so hopefully all of you have the Step It Up pledge form for stewardship, because this is our program for stewardship. And stewardship means that you pledge to donate a certain amount every week, every couple of weeks, every month, every year, however you decide to do it. And this form, you can fill it out and hand it in to one of the board members, one of the practitioners, or Carmen. And then we can budget for next year as to the resources we have for this center. And so I invite you to fill out your form to really step it up in the knowing that you are a resource of God in all things, including prosperity. And of course, in the law, the more that we give, the more that we receive. There is that constant reciprocity of, ooh, that was not well done at all, of giving and receiving. And that is also, then we step into really expanding our own mental equivalents that we say, yeah, you know what? I am more. I have more. I create more. I be more. And God is infinite. So with that, I invite you to take what you have today and hold it in your hands. Hold it in your hands. Bless it. Hold it with gratitude. And we are going to sing What Do I Have as the baskets go around.
What do I have to give? What do I need to live? What do I have to share? What do I do to show I care? What do I have to give? What do I need to live? What do I have to share? What do I do to show I care? What do I have to give? What do I need to live? What do I have to share? What do I do to show I care? What do I give? What do I give? What do I give?
Come on up, Linda and Judy. In this moment, I breathe in. I breathe in, knowing that I'm breathing in the breath of life, which is spirit, which is God. God that is everywhere present. God that gives and gives and gives more and more good, for it is infinite. And so I give thanks for all that we have received today. I honor it, I bless it, and I know that it is used by the board to serve our community, to serve in love, to serve in teaching, to serve in creating a community that is strong and healthy and vibrant and loving and excited about being the divine presence of God, about embodying this truth, this knowing in each and every moment. And so I say thank you to each person here. Thank you to each person online who has contributed today. And thank you to all the other members of our community that are not here and that yet still continue to give from their open hearts. And so now I release my word of thanks, of knowing, of blessing into the law, into that eternal one, knowing all is well and all is in divine flow. I release and let go. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before you go away, Linda. No,
Linda?
Yes, Linda. I'm inviting Linda up to just say a few words about our gala.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. Just a reminder, our gala is yet less than 3 weeks away. So if you haven't purchased your tickets, please do so at the bookstore or online today. And we're still looking for some sponsorships too. So this is our major fundraiser, so we really, really, really appreciate all your support. So thank you.
Great, thank you. I'll take that. Thank you, Linda. There's a funny thing that happens this time of year. It seems like we, talk about money a lot. One of the things that I really have embodied in my life is the idea that money is simply God in action. That is the truth. And as I embody this idea, more of it flows to me for my use. More of it flows to each and every person I encounter for their use. And I recognize that if I keep the flow open, that it simply resonates and expands more and more and more. That's true of love. That's true of everything in our lives, not just money. As we keep the flow open, everything expands for us. All the good expands. This is the truth. And so this is how I choose to live my life. With this idea in mind, I want us all to simply relax into this place of recognition right now that what we have come here to know, we came here with already. Inherently, what is required for us to live a great life is within. And now we express it. We express it fully. We express it freely. Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Right here in this moment. Right in this present moment, I recognize and know that there is a power. There is only one power. There is only one loving resource for all of creation. There is only one. There is only the thing itself, God. This divine resource is everywhere present. We are swimming in a sea of receptivity. We are swimming in a sea of God. We are immersed in, expressing as this divine creative resource. In everything we think, say, and do, we are the point at which God is expressing as us, through us, for our highest benefit. Knowing this to be true, I claim on behalf of each and every person here that love is the only factor in our lives. Everything that we experience shows up as love. Everything that we know comes from a place of love. Everything we believe and feel is grounded in love. And from this place, we can release to that place of forgiveness. For anything that seems to be an ill effect is simply an illusion. We step into this new knowing, and this is what creates our future. From this point, right here, right now, we are love. And so in gratitude, I simply allow this to be so. Gratitude for this experience, gratitude for the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes, gratitude for every single person who made today possible, every single person who showed up in their own lives. I'm grateful to all our volunteers. I'm grateful to Linda and Judy, Lori, Margaret Ann, Lena, Marg, Carrie, Kimon, Tony, Linda, Helen. I'm grateful to the band. I am grateful. I live my life in gratitude and recognize that in that feeling of gratitude, only greatness shows up in the expression of life. This is the truth, and I release this word to the law, knowing that in its release, it is complete. Knowing this to be so, I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. So take a breath. get ready, because we're going to do it, and we're going to do it right now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are. And so we'll finalize this day, kicking it up a notch with watching the river run. Thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll see you all next week.
If you've been thinking you're all that you've got, then don't feel alone anymore. When we're together and you've got a lot, 'cause I am the river and you are the shore. And it goes on and on, watching the river run, further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning, run river run. Winding and swirling and dancing along, we pass by the old willow tree, where old friends embrace as we sing them our song, rejoicing together as we greet the sea. And it goes on and on, watching the river run, further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning, run river run. And it goes on and on, watching the river run, further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we had just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning, run river run, listening and learning and yearning, run river run.
Have a great week.